You guys covered that last week.
Shut up, Kenny. We're live.
Ongoing joke.
It's a forever ongoing joke, and don't you forget about that. Now, hello and welcome to the Extra Live Show. I'm your host, Kyle McCauley. Today I'm joined with me, as always, the other Kyle Penrod.
Hey.
Hey. And this week we have a special guest with us, our good friend Ken Maxey. Kenneth, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, I've had better days. I'm having a okay day. That's why I'm drinking beautiful Stag tonight.
Hey,
Stag.
Actually, I have. Unlike what?
Nothing like piss in a can.
Yeah, no kidding. This stuff is actually.
No, that's Miller High Life. Thank you very much.
No, you take that back, sir.
Okay, I will take it back because I love that shit.
High Life is an amazing beer, and it's cheap, and it'll get you drunk.
Is that why you used to drink Blue Moon all the time?
Blue Moon's
or Pat's Blue Ribbon. That's what it was.
Yeah. I stopped drinking that shit a long time ago. I won't. I will go for some Keystone Ice though. That's like my new cheap beer that I'll go for. Tastes pretty good.
Yeah, I still remember that's all you guys really drank back in the day because that was the cheap stuff.
Yep. So, how do we start this one, gentlemen?
Well,
I don't know. You guys are the professionals.
I don't know.
I'm just some Asian you roped into this.
Oh, now you're gonna pull the Asian card. Of course, you pull the Asian card.
Some Asian dude that we found. We were like, hey, we need an Asian guy to round out our ethnicity.
We're down in the Asian market.
Yeah.
We need more.
And no, I'm not even gonna say that. Never mind. Moving along.
Let's just get past the racist jokes and dive right into it.
Actually,
I'm gonna say this. At work, I think Monday or something like that. Somebody at work made a joke, and I started laughing, and I was like, "Aha, that's why I love you." And then Josh goes, "Yep, that's all you got to do to make Kyle love you. Make him laugh and make fun of black people." And I was like, "Yep."
Those are the only two requirements.
Disclaimer: I love black people. All right, but racist jokes are hilarious. Okay.
Actually, I remember a podcast. I don't remember which one it was that you guys did. It was one of the first ones you started here, but you guys were talking about your initials and needing another person with K.
Oh,
to
yes.
round it out. And now you have them.
Thanks, Kenny.
That happened to us while we were out at a bar, dude.
Oh yeah.
There's this chick walks up and starts talking to us, and I didn't like it because she was super hot and showing me stuff that I shouldn't be seeing as a person who can't seem to get laid. So I was kind of pissed off about that, so I was actually really mean to her, but she's standing there fucking talking to us and stuff, and then all of a sudden she's like, "What's you guys' names?" And I instantly, and Kyle saw me do this too, I was just like, "Oh, this is going to be hilarious," because me, Kyle, him, Kyle, and Kylie was standing right there. She didn't believe us about the names for some reason.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, she had us pull out our IDs.
Yeah, she carded us.
Yeah, so that she could believe it.
Bitch told me that I was an old-ass motherfucker for being born in 1981. She was born in 82.
Well, by, perspective, you're older than her.
Right, but by a few months,
That's the joke.
Holy hell.
I'm not old yet. I'll be old in a few days.
Oh, that's right, Kenny. You got a birthday coming up.
Yeah, I'll be 30.
Happy early 30th birthday.
30. Thank you. Yeah. No, that's like the mark, As soon as you hit 30, then you're an old man.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Okay. Get this guy off the fucking podcast. What the hell?
I'm pretty sure it's not until you hit 50 that you can really be considered an old man. Because I mean, at 40 you're just like it's like midlife, but 50 it's like, yeah, you've only got about a good 20 years left.
I've heard people tell me that 40s are actually pretty good because you're like established and I don't know. I mean, they're probably full of shit.
They're probably. They're like, yeah, I'm 40 and it's great. I just go home and cry myself to sleep at night.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I've actually heard that from a lot of the older guys that I hang out with, gaming and stuff like that. It said their 30s, 40s were like their favorite years.
Yeah.
So okay, you hang out with 60-year-olds.
Yeah, older guys playing games and shit.
All right.
It's not weird anymore. I'm old now, so.
Well, I'd imagine after that your reflexes and stuff start to leave you. So yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so this podcast got extremely personal, and I'm the one drinking. So
you don't know how much I've had to drink.
That's very true. I'm not over there force feeding you the drink, so I can't keep tab.
I can't have alcohol, so.
Hint: it's nothing because there's no damn booze in the house. We drank it all. We have to go buy more.
All right, so let's we'll go ahead and we'll jump into the show, and yeah, Kyle.
Yo.
What you been playing there, buddy?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, nothing. Not really been playing. Been playing this little game. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it. It's called like it's really weird. It's like Risk of Rain.
Oh God, you're gonna start with the Risk of Rain.
Yeah. Well, that's all I've been playing.
Nobody plays that.
Okay, I played Fez for
an hour. That's what it shows on your Steam account.
Have an hour in it?
Yeah, it says 1 hour on your Steam account.
All right.
Fez is a good game.
Yeah, Fez seems to be a pretty cool game. It coming from Risk of Rain though, man, I had a kind of a hard time getting into that. Contrast, I have 57 minutes in Fez. I have 51 hours in Risk of Rain.
Well, also, in Risk of Rain, you're kind of running for your life every second that you're playing it. And Fez, you're just kind of turning the map around and jumping.
Yeah, but Fez is it's kind of interesting. You can like change your perspective like 3 times, and to like look behind things and everything. It's kind of it's interesting. It's very Legend of Zelda, 8-bit Legend of Zelda inspired. There's a lot of little nuanced things that are the same. Like it's got the same amount of steps when he walks through a door that the original Legend of Zelda did. When you start off in his room there's a Legend of Zelda title screen poster on the wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
wait,
cool.
What?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. Yep. In the room that you start in.
What?
Yeah.
I'm about ready to
believe it.
I'm about ready to boot up Fez right now to see if you're fucking joshing with me because
I'm not joking with you.
How did I miss that?
Because you're stupid.
The first fucking place you start out in. How did I miss that?
I don't know.
Probably because you didn't spend much time there.
I guess not. I mean, is it like once you get the ability to switch perspectives, is that when you can see it? No?
It's on the default perspective. You can see it right from the start. I instantly saw it. I was like, oh hey, like the second I saw that room,
Wow. Well, apparently I'm retarded because I didn't see that at all.
Dude, that's my favorite
game
of
the shelf,
all time.
That's true.
Like, of course I'm going to pick up on. Of course I'm going to pick up on stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but I didn't play Fez that much. I'm going to. I'm definitely going to this week. You charged me with playing Fez, and I'm doing that. But yeah, that Risk of Rain, dude. That game is just so fucking awesome, dude. And I have as of yesterday, I have everything unlocked. Everything. Except for one artifact. I got everything else. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
You drawn the 20 whirls and everything?
Oh well, we're talking achievements. No, I don't have the achievements unlocked because I can't get off of the glass mode, dude. I want to, dude. I love that glass mode so much. Glass mode is you have 10% health. You deal 500% damage. So you start off just doing tremendous amounts of damage, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have to worry about. You have to worry about getting survival pickups, but you don't have to worry about getting damage pickups. And then also, don't fucking get hit because you're gonna die.
That makes the game fun, though.
Oh yeah, it makes it so you can't. Because usually, I mean, you can run into a group of a whole bunch of them and just take the hits, you know, and they'll die. But no, I've got all the artifacts, or all the artifacts except for one. And if the way you get the last artifact is by playing the game to completion with all the artifacts on, which is going to be fucking hard to do because of the one that me and Kenny know of.
Smite. Spite, not smite.
Or spite, yeah.
What is spite?
You turn it on, and the enemies blow up, and they send grenades out wherever they blow up. Yeah,
they blow up.
I completely owned his balls, dude.
The bigger and harder the mob, the more grenades it spawn.
Oh my god, dude! I killed a boss, and all I heard was, "Oh shit, I died!" Because all these grenades just came out and blew up all over our faces, dude.
It was a fucking tsunami of black grenades just coming from the left side of the screen while I was running from a horde of mobs to the right with low health.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
It was a serious good time. We were laughing.
So obviously, Kenny, you've been playing and everything. What character have you been playing as?
I was mostly playing as the Commando because really most of the other characters suck.
You guys are dumb, man. The Enforcer is fucking amazing.
Dude, come on.
We played the Enforcer. The Enforcer is all right, but for our play style, we're constantly moving everywhere. We don't just like sit down somewhere in a corner and hide.
Hey, all I'm saying is like when I was playing Commando, I was constantly dying. When I play Enforcer, like I have better defense, so I can survive longer. You know, Enforcer's the only character I've been able to get to like level 3 by myself. You know, not just playing with Kyle.
Well,
more so, not playing with Kyle, dude. That's getting carried by.
Yeah. Fuck you.
When you might like Kyle, once you unlock her, is the Huntress, because the Huntress, she technically auto aims. Like you can actually, you just hold on the fire button and she'll fire at whatever the closest target is.
Yeah.
So you can kite, you can run back and forth. You don't got to worry about turning around like you had to do with the Commando to pop a shot off. You can literally run left while they're all chasing you from the right and just spam your shit at them until they die. And she has a teleport that works similar to the roll. The only thing that sucks about her is you can't use her abilities while you're holding down the auto attack. You have to literally stop doing any attacks before you can trigger her abilities. And her abilities are kind of mediocre too. Like it's the glaive is alright, but it only bounces through 4 mobs, so you only hit 4 mobs with it or something like that.
Yeah.
When you're usually gonna end up with like a horde of 20 or 30 chasing you. And then you have the cluster arrow is pretty good. The cluster arrow hits the first thing it runs into, and then it shatters into a bunch of grenades that fall down and blow up in a line all around them. So that does a lot of damage, but for the most part, you're better off just mass producing like attack speed and just running around and gunning them down over time.
Have you guys played as the Bandit at all?
Yeah, I like the Bandit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His primary attack has no cooldown, so the faster you can spam it, the faster he actually shoots. Which is pretty cool if you're like me and you set up a repeating key. So you just have him like ripping off shots.
Yeah.
And but he's got like for an AoE shot, he has what the hell is that?
That was Kenny's phone. I know that. I know that's
my phone. Yeah.
That was the Poe from Zelda.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he's got like for a crowd AoE shot, he has like a little grenade that he can shoot, which it's shitty. It will hit everything though that it lands on. So if it lands on if it lands on a whole group of enemies, it does hit them all. It just doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But where he really shines is his invisible thing, dude. He can turn invisible. He gains a bunch of run speed, but then drops all aggro. So because they can't see him.
Right. So it's a clean getaway.
Yeah. And then he's got a power like a execution shot that resets his cooldowns if it kills the target. So, but the band is pretty cool. But I mean, really, as far as abilities are concerned, you're going to end up auto attacking with him more than obviously more than anything. But like I forgot about his execution shot while I was playing him. I just completely forgot about it. So.
That's really the main problem with a lot of the classes in that they all have their pros and cons, but for some reason there's only a few. There's just like 2 or 3 classes that are kind of elite over all the other classes.
Absolutely.
Like there's no touching them compared to the other classes, and then the other classes are just kind of there to be like, well, you can play as this if you want to. Like the robot is ridiculous. The robot is so stupid.
Dude, the worst one though has got to be that sniper.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to reload his gun. He shoots, and then you press the button again to have him reload it, and it's like what? And it's got like a sliding bar, and if you get it in the right spot, you can do extra damage on your next shot. So think about that. You shoot, and then press it, and then press it again, and then press it again to shoot a shot with bonus damage. Come the fuck on, dude. You're literally like 4 button presses to fire off a single shot.
And for a game like that, that's
I actually gotta say, have you played Handy yet, Kyle?
Just for like
the robot. I would actually say the robot is worse than you. I don't know if I don't know if Kyle's really played.
I only have Commando and Enforcer unlocked. That's all I have.
Right.
And we gotta get you up to snuff, bro.
We
gotta get you up to snuff, dude.
I'm gonna have to buy the game so I can stop taking control of Kyle's account for hours on end.
That's all right. Like, well, I mean, as we all know, or if you don't know, like, just because you have control of my account, as soon as I get on any of my games, it kicks you off. So, fuck off.
Well, there was one thing. One day, I actually have screenshots of this thing. I'll never play that game that much again. Period. But
I was looking at my friend activity and I saw your screenshots today.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was on that game literally from 9 in the morning until almost 8 o'clock at night, on and off. I didn't sit there and play it nonstop, but I was in the same game for that long.
Yeah.
It ended up being like 380 something minutes or something of actual gameplay, and I got to some ridiculous heights of scoring in that game, and I will never do that again. So I'll never beat any record on my game again. Ever. Where I thought I had like 400 or 500 items, Penrod, I had like closer to 1,500.
Good.
It was ridiculous.
Wait, did you just say 1,500 items?
Yeah, I had 1,500 items.
That's
I accumulated like.
what were you doing?
Were
Were you just fucking hoarding? Like,
well, I started the game.
What was your final play count? Is what I want to know.
My final play count?
Yeah, like what time? Like how long?
That's only 15 of each item.
No, it was more than 15, dude. I was in like the 50s.
Yeah, but if you
items.
divide it evenly, that's only 15 of each item. There's only like 100 items in the game.
Yeah.
I think.
You think?
It might be more.
Mayhaps.
It started.
It appeared. It's popping up in my head that I read that somewhere. That right now there's like 100 items in the game.
There it is.
So,
I was before that. Penrod told me that the max level was like 20 on that game.
Mm-hmm.
My level was 31. I was level 31. I had 369 minutes and 35 seconds on the game. 6,009 kills. 1,225 bosses. 1,462 items. 33,600,000 and some odd gold. I bought 224 items. And my end score was 91 million and some change.
That's ridiculous, Kenny. Just stop. Just stop.
Well, the thing is, I started that game simply to unlock stuff, and I found that once you get to the end level, just before the end level, when you're at the Temple of the Guardians, you can hit G instead of W and revisit old levels.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept going old levels to unlock more stuff, and then I just got caught in a vicious cycle of going through because I kept passing stuff up, and I still missed unlocking the miner because I completely forgot he was in the magma level. So I got to go back and do that later.
Well, all right. So we've got Kenny. You've beaten the game. Kyle, you've beaten the game. Like at this point,
6 times.
Okay, Kyle, you've beaten the game 6 times.
I've only beaten it 3 times, but I don't think Kyle's ever gonna match my score.
Don't challenge him, please. Here it is, 1 hour. Don't challenge him. We're doing a podcast. He needs to play different games. Kyle, you need to play different games.
Fuck that shit. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go, dude.
Leave
where I work, I can actively play that shit at work, dude.
So what keeps you coming back to this? You know, like I mean, I get the roguelikeness of it and everything like that, and you know how it kind of has infinite replayability. But I mean, Kyle, you're sitting at 51 hours. Like, what makes you come home every day and turn on Risk of Rain?
Dude, I don't freaking know. I honestly, dude, seriously, I honestly thought that. Like, once I beat the game, like, I was like, I'm going to beat this game one time, and I'm going to be done with it. All right? Beat the game once, you know, and then, like, you know, and I was like, yeah, but I didn't get that one thing. You know, like, I wanted that one thing. And then I started researching, like, the artifacts and what they do, and I found, I got the command one. That's what blew it open for me, was the command artifact. Mm-hmm. You got the command artifact, and then all of a sudden, the, items don't drop randomly anymore.
Oh,
you
really?
get to pick which item you want.
Oh,
so
really?
You can make a tailor-made game with that. So you turn on Command, Glass, and Kin. Mm-hmm. All right? And if you get the right enemy for the Kin, Kin makes it so only a single type of mob will spawn. Mm-hmm. Okay? Instead of just a whole bunch of things, you just get that one enemy over and over and over again. Thousands of them. Okay, and if you get the right one for Kin, okay, then you can safe spot them, meaning you can just hang on a rope forever where they can't get you, and let them accumulate, go down, blast them, you know, get a shitload of items. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was that command one that blew it open for me, because once I got that, and then I could, I could choose the items. then I chose, the first thing I did was choose a whole bunch of 56 leaf clovers, right? Because then that makes elite mobs drop items. So then I just sat there, just kept slaughter. I just let it go all the way up to ha 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 ha, where mostly elite mobs were spawning, and then just blew them away, dude.
Yeah,
and just got shit tons of items,
Wow.
So yeah, now when I play the game, I end the game with 20 rusty jetpacks and 5 photon jetpacks, dude. I can jump 10 miles in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I could go from the bottom of the map to the top, dude. And
oh my God.
depending on the amount of rare. See, okay, you don't always get to choose every item. Okay, it doesn't give you a list of every item to choose from when you choose an item for the command. They drop a white chest, which is common, a green chest, which is uncommon, red, which is rare, and an orange one. And I haven't seen a purple one.
Okay.
I don't think I'll get a purple one or a yellow one. I haven't seen that either. Well, it says only found by killing bosses, so for the yellow ones, but that's boss items. So anyway. They obviously dropped the white one a shit ton, so you end up with 30 hooves. You're running super fast. I like to get a whole bunch of barbed wire. That way you can sit there and just sit kind of off to the side, and they'll die on the barbed wire. So you can literally just stand there and just slaughter enemies. And then you'll get some green ones, and then every now and again you get a red one. So the red one is your rare items. Your heaven crackers, your hyper threader, which is the most OP item in the game. Forget about it.
Hyper threader.
Hyper threader.
Hyper threader.
Yeah, it shoots when you shoot an enemy. It shoots lasers behind you that bounce to other enemies.
I like that. I like the sound
Fucking
of that.
nuts.
Yeah.
Dude. Kenny and I unlocked it, and then the next game it dropped. I was gimme, and I snatched that shit up. Dude.
No, it wasn't the next game. We played 2 more games while I was the commander. There's let's switch up. I'll play the enforcer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We were trying to do the Drown the Worlds. I was like, yeah, I'll play the enforcer. You can play the commando. It was the 3rd drop. It's here, have the most epic thing in the game now that he's not playing it anymore.
Nice.
But yeah, that thing is great. So yeah, I always get a couple of those, and if you can. But the first thing, basically the rules for me are whenever I'm playing in a mode like that, where I'm trying to get specific items,
Yeah.
The rules for me is all green chests I dump into 60 or 56 leaf clovers until 8. They don't stack after 8.
Oh really?
So yeah, you only have to get 8 chests, and then you can use it for whatever I need after that. White, I pretty much get a whole bunch of barbed wire at first, because that just helps with killing them. And then red, I get 6 of those items that reduce the cooldown of your use item.
Mm-hmm.
That way. Oh yeah, you can also get a on-use item that spawns a chest. So you get the rapid mitosis, which reduces the cooldown, the cooldowns of your on-use item by 25% for each one you have.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get the thing with the chest, and then you just constantly spawn in chests.
That sounds a little broken.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, they allow you to get to that point in the game, so.
Yeah. It sounds a little broken, but at the same time, we're still playing this on normal. I don't know if Penrod has yet or not, but I haven't really messed with monsoon difficulty yet.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't.
Oh God, we have another 50 hours in us.
Monsoon difficulty when they have special abilities on top of being harder.
Oh, really?
Like they have some of the items abilities, like that shocker thing and whatnot. Like they'll shock you if you get close to them.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
about everything has the heat-seeking missiles. It's pretty nuts. I've messed around on it a couple of times while I was trying to unlock the Huntress, but I haven't played tried to play the full game yet. I did find the only time I've really used the ceremonial dagger, which is one of my favorite items now. I was playing the sniper, and it was ridiculous. I would blast something with the sniper, kill it, and it would explode into these like 5 or 6 purple projectiles, and it'd float off, kill something else. That would explode into the projectiles, and essentially I would wipe the entire map just by killing one thing as the sniper somehow.
Very interesting.
He's not even paying attention.
Sorry, I was looking at something. I apologize.
Yeah, the ceremonial dagger is very nice. That thing, yeah. You can set off a lot of chain reactions with that thing.
All right, so real quick, I want to kind of bring the Risk of Rain talk to an end here, unless you guys got anything else that you want to say on it.
I'm good.
All right, fine. Let's see how it is.
Shut up, Kyle. First, Kyle, I think you should try a game called Rogue Legacy. And Kenny might be able to back me up on this. It's very similar in gameplay. Well, maybe not gameplay, but concept to Risk of Rain, and it plays kind of like a Castlevania / Metroid.
It plays a lot like Symphony of the Night, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
But it's got some roguelike elements to it, and upgrades. It's a lot of fun. I've played a little bit of it, and I would recommend it. Kenny, would you recommend the same to Kyle, Mr.
Yeah, I would. I really wish it was multiplayer or co-op.
Yeah, that would be kind of neat.
It's a fun game. It's a nice game to like just if you're gonna like watch a movie in the background or something like that, just play it, dick around in it. Mm-hmm. It's one of those games that you're really not going to get very far in it until you die horribly many times and start leveling up your shit and buying stuff and whatnot. But
are you looking it up right now, Kyle?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I would like trust me, like I know you, and and like after your obsession with Risk of Rain right now, like this game is like right up your alley.
Is that on Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Yeah.
I think it's like $15 normally. I've seen it go on sale for like $5 every now and then.
I only have 22 hours in that game right now, but I still have 22 hours in it.
Yeah. Outside
Why
of that,
do I always do that, dude? Every time I go to type Rogue, I type Rouge. Every time.
I don't know.
You know why? Because I'm goddamn retarded. That's why.
Because I'm retarded. Outside of that, Kenny, you might be able to answer this one. Have you played Warframe at all?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I've got a viewer that I'm talking to on Steam right now. It's my buddy Will. He
Look at this fucking guy. He's talking to other people while he's trying to record his podcast. Okay, I'm going to talk to other people. Talk about Rick Rain. I don't give a shit.
That's why you brought me on here, don't you see, Penrod? He figured we'd sit here and talk about Risk of Rain back and forth while he could
and then he can sit back and just like hold his dick.
Thanks, guys. But no, so Will's hitting me up on Steam asking if any of us have tried Warframe. I don't know. Is that kind of similar in concept to Risk of Rain, or is he just sending me down? Is he just trying to get me to talk about Warframe?
If by similar to concept you mean there's a lot of stuff trying to kill you and it's fast paced, then yes.
Kenny, that is like the most vague explanation for a video. It's there's a lot of stuff trying to kill you, and it's kind of fast paced.
Warframe, I suppose an easy way that I could describe it that would probably click in your head pretty quick is think of a very fast paced Gears of War kind of game. Mm-hmm. where you I actually can't remember if you can take cover in that game or not. I haven't played it since it came out, but I played it a lot back then. I can't remember if you can take cover, but it's a third person over the shoulder. It's really fast paced. It has parkouring in it. You do wall running and all that kind of stuff. Long jumping, you can dive through the air and whatnot. You can slide on the ground while shooting and attacking. They have a bunch of different weapons. They have different warframes you can build, which is actually it has a lot of stuff to offer as far as like a decent game, but I didn't like it personally simply because it's one of those games that's free to play, but they give you a very minuscule amount of freedom to play with it. Like you can pick one warframe. To get another warframe, it takes, well, I can't say what it is now because I know it's gone through revamps and I haven't really played it since then. But back then, and from what I have heard from friends, I got a lot of friends that still play it, they said that the time is still there. To craft stuff, you had to put hours of time in just to get the materials and the money for it. Money took a lot to build up. But then whenever you went to craft it, like you had to find the blueprints for the items, and you had to craft those specific components, and you had to find the blueprint for the full warframe. Just to craft a component, it was like 18 hours. And then once you had all three of those components together, it took 3 days to craft your warframe. Whenever you first join that game, you only have 2 slots for warframes, the one you pick and room for one more that you can build. And I think you have like 7 slots for guns or something like that for weaponry. And then back then there was no way to get more slots without paying real money, which I can understand, and a lot of people would probably argue that it's fair in that regard. But I don't know, I'm it's a pet peeve of mine if I don't have like a little bit of leeway to really mess with. If I go through hours, which is what I did, I went through hours to make this warframe that I thought was going to be awesome, and it was not my play style at all. It was like the worst thing I ever tried playing whatsoever. So I wasted all that time. But then my only option was to essentially delete it, completely negate all that work, and start again on a different warframe if I wanted to get another one, or pay them money.
Yeah.
Which back then the conversion rate was kind of high too. So, but it was a decently fun game, and there's still a lot of people that play it. It just wasn't my cup of tea after dealing with that a few times.
Fair enough. I don't know. I've always been kind of interested to check out a lot of the free-to-play games that are on Steam, but I'm always worried that most of them are going to be pay-to-win. So that's kind of like what constantly keeps me from checking them out, because I just, I'm not a big fan of that that type of business model, which a lot of people aren't. To sound like I'm a fucking trailblazer, I stand against the free-to-plays. But
when they're free to play, pay to win or have fun.
Yeah.
You gotta make money somehow. So.
Yeah.
So
I don't mind if a game is pay to win a lot of times, simply because if it's not like a full PvP game, like if it's not just like some first person shooter like Combat Arms or something like that, then if it's an MMO or something like that that has PvP elements, but then there's a lot of PvE I can do, then a lot of times I don't really care about pay to win, because I don't have to go and do that. I can just go do this over here, and I'm not a big PvP guy in MMOs and stuff like that anyway. But
yeah, it's because you're no good at it.
Yeah, when you're a pussy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that's also why I hate MOBAs.
No, we're not
fired.
No, we're not starting that conversation. We are not starting that conversation. We'll save that conversation for another episode.
I will have you know, sir, that League of Legends is the best game ever made. No, it is not. That was satire.
Oh man. So anyway, all right. Well, I didn't play any. Actually, I did play a little bit of Risk of Rain, but I just kind of did it for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
piddle fuck
just-
around in the game.
Yeah.
You got to play that game for keeps, dude.
I enjoy it. It's definitely like one of the best games that I've played this year, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I just I don't have a whole lot of time to play it, so I don't have a whole lot of
it's
time to
not
develop
bad.
like all the major strategies that you guys have come up with your fucking 50 hours in it and all that.
It's not that.
Why
It's
don't
'cause
you
you've
have
been playing
time to
Doom.
play?
Because
what is wrong with you?
I gotta.
Because he's been playing
Yeah,
Doom.
Like you
I-
got, yeah, he's playing
I've been playing a lot of Doom. Yeah, that's true. I can't argue with that. No, real quick, I played quite a bit of Fez actually. I ended up restarting my save that I had on there. Sorry, hold on. Was that audible? That was audible?
Excuse me. It was.
No,
yeah,
no,
this
not
is
at all.
exactly what it was like, dude. It was like up. Excuse me, guys. You're totally.
That's
not
what I get for drinking
shit.
Stag.
Oh.
What was I saying? No, so I started playing it. I restarted my save, and I forgot how like confusing that game can be. And when I say confusing, I mean like you kind of go into a world and you're trying to collect all these little blocks to complete your cube, and you just like I found myself kind of like. There's like 3 doors in there, so like I step in one door, and then like I go down that rabbit hole, and then I come back, and I'm like, did I even get the cubes in here? Like, what am I getting again? I forget. Like a lot of it was just like I guess I'm just gonna go through this door because I don't fucking remember. I mean, you pull up like the map, and the map has like information on it, like where you've been and what you've gotten, but it's not really that useful because
like
a lot of the shit
goddamn
doesn't even make
genome.
sense. What?
So it's like a goddamn genome. It's like it's spread out everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like it's supposed to be 3-dimensional, so you can spin it and look at it. And
Yeah.
then it's like, well,
No, that is honestly probably the worst map I've ever seen in a game. Like it is like so confusing. None of it makes sense. And
Dude, I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
especially since it's since whenever you look at it,
he doesn't even use the map.
there's multiple doors. Well, it doesn't even tell you there is a map. Like you got to figure it out later, almost. But no, it's like whenever you look at there can be like 4 or 5 doors, and then there's the secret doors too, the back doors that warp in between areas that go to all these different places. But all you get on the map is here's where you are. Here's a bunch of branches that go to all these different places. Have fun figuring out which door goes where. Although if you pay attention, whenever you're facing the door, you can kind of see what the level that it's going to take you to is in the background. You can see a silhouette of it in the background before you go to the door.
And I've noticed the silhouette in the background. Plus, a lot of times when you're getting ready to go into the door, like that little thing that'll follow you around, I forget what the hell it was called. Will kind of like show a little.
Navi that keeps saying, "Hey, listen."
Yeah. He only says, "Hey, listen" once. All right, it was a fun.
That
joke.
was enough. That was.
Oh
enough.
yeah, that was it too. That guy is totally takeoff of Navi, dude.
Yeah. But like. It wasn't so much that I got lost a lot. It was like I was kind of getting lost, and I kind of forgot where all my, like where I'd got all my cubes from, and like it's a little confusing. I could see where you would kind of need to like maybe write down some information so that way you can remember it later on, unless you got a fucking photogenic memory. But I was having a lot of fun with it this time. I kind of like dropped off pretty quickly the first time that I played it. God, I bought it like well over a year ago, I think. And this time, like I actually was like, staying up kind of late playing it and like trying to figure out like the puzzles and everything like that. I think I only encountered like 2 puzzles that I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, and I just kind of left.
Yeah, there's a lot of puzzles in that that's kind of just like it just basic, oh, you got to turn this here and turn that there, line up the ladder, or time jumps and stuff.
Yeah.
There's some other puzzles in it that's a little more a little more intricate. Like
there's one puzzle that I keep getting stuck on that is essentially, I don't even know exactly what it is, but like you have to get these. You have 4 blocks that you need to get on this platform, and in a specific order. And it's like there's 9 places to put the blocks, because it's like if you look at it from like a bird's eye view, it is essentially like a 3x3 cube, but you're looking at it from the side perspective, and you can, change the angle and everything, but you can only see one side at a time. So like as you're like moving the blocks, they're moving between these like different like dimensions within the perspective, and like literally my mind fucking melted, and I was like, I gotta go. I can't figure this out. This is not. Like, I'm spending way too much time trying to figure this out, and it's hurting. I can't do it.
I know the one you're talking about, because I actually did it last night. Cause I restarted fast and played it a little bit again too. Yeah, it's you have to make there's 4 Tetris shapes. There's 2 L blocks, one going this way, one going this way, and then 2 of the pyramid ones with the one on the center. Yeah. And what you have to do is you have to line it up so every time you look at each side, it'll make that block up top.
Yeah.
And the main thing that I noticed, it's actually not that hard to do. The thing I had issue with is I kept getting up there and I kept holding down and pressing F, so I would just set the block down. Yeah. And you can't do that. You literally have to throw it at the spot so that it'll get sucked into the holding cell or whatever, the lighted up area. Otherwise, it just sets off to the side. So
yeah, it was that was a bit of a mind bender that I was like, I don't want to do this right now. I'll go somewhere else in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Other than that, like, I don't have a whole lot more to say, but I was having fun with it. It was a good time. Kyle, I really think you should play it.
Oh, don't worry, I will. Yeah. It's on my list. It's not. I'm not giving. I haven't given up on that one. It seems like a solid game so far. I enjoyed it.
If you can just pull yourself away from Risk of Rain, you'll be fine.
Well, you know what though, they do need to do some things as far as like the tempo of that game is concerned. Like when you're crawling up like the ivy and shit, and dude, that is just mind-numbing. Oh my god, it's too slow. He's like inch. Oh, come on.
Well, what's worse is
jump,
like
Kyle.
if you try to jump. I found a lot of times, like I hit the jump button to like kind of like make myself go up faster, and for whatever reason, like there's sometimes where he won't like grab on as you're jumping, and he'll just fall further down, and it's like it's almost like it's punishing you. It's like no.
No, you gotta go at my
pace makes waste. We're going to this flow.
Yeah. I've never had that issue, but then again, I play with keyboard. I don't know if you guys.
I play with the controller.
I play the game. I always platform with a controller. I can't do it with a keyboard.
I can do it just fine with a keyboard. I don't know. I actually find it easier with a keyboard to platform in some games.
I can't do it though. Because like Super Mario Brothers, platform controller, and in my head, like I'll be all like, using the keys, and I'm like, dude, and in my head I think controller keys, and then I have to translate that to the keyboard, and I'm just not as fast. But if I had a controller, it's just bang, 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 bang,
Well, mine's probably because whenever I started playing emulators and stuff like that, like I use the arrow keys to move, and I would use like ASDF for like the SNES. I'd use ASDF for ABXY, or if I was playing NES, it was just A and F for A and B. So I suppose it's just muscle memory for me now that I can do it just fine. Because I remember back when I first started playing Counter-Strike, I couldn't use WASD to move, to like walk around and stuff like that. I had to use the arrow keys.
Really?
I used the arrow keys to do it. I couldn't use WASD for whatever reason. I could not do it in Counter-Strike.
Hand even so.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah. But then I stopped playing Counter-Strike for a while, and I got into other shooters where they automatically bound WASD, and I just got used to it. So now I always use WASD.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I remember when WSD would fuck me up and I could not play a PC shooter or anything first person or third person with the keyboard and mouse, and it was when I first started PC gaming. I was like, every game that I play has got to have controller support. But now, like, I don't know, I'm getting more and more used to it. I still don't like third person games like with mouse and keyboard. I'd rather play those with gamepad, but I don't know. I'm getting much better at it.
Yeah.
So
It just takes practice.
it's human nature. You learn. It's amazing. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
and
all
it's
about
probably
muscle
I
memory.
have the option. It's I can either learn how to use the keyboard and the platformer, or I can use my controller that I have right next to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the controller. So
I don't know. I'm like almost completely anti-console gaming anymore. So like
you're just a monster, Kenny.
Yeah.
You're just a monster. I don't even know why I have you on here, you fucking monster.
Because you love me.
Well, let's not delve into that. That's a dark road I don't want to go down. All right, so moving on from Fez, I'm greatly enjoying it. I hope to eventually beat it. I don't really plan on getting 100%. I just hope to beat it. If there is an end part to that game, any other thoughts on Fez?
If you even attempt 100%, it's going to you're definitely going to be using Google. That's all I can say about that.
Oh, fine.
It's very mainly because you don't have a lot of time, and there's some stuff in that is very, very tedious.
Yeah,
Very
I probably won't 100% that then. That's not worth it.
Like, did you ever do the bell? I know you already been past the bell because
I was. So what's the? Damn it! I don't want to go any more into this. But what's the deal with the bell? I was trying to figure that out myself.
The bell you have to hit on specific sides a certain number of times, and I can't remember. It's one of those things, like whenever you play a game and you do like you figure out some puzzle that it takes you a long time to figure out, and then it's just burned into your memory, so you automatically know what the answer is. I remember what the answer is. I don't remember how I got it, but essentially you have to like hit one side one time, another side like 3 times, another side 6 times, and then another side 10 times in a specific order.
Wow, that is fucking worthless.
And that's how you get. That's how it gives you one of the anti-cubes. And then
not worth
and then later on, like the purple pillars and the white pillars that are around. The purple pillars, I think you can do right away once you learn the stuff. But it's like you have to decipher the language of the game. You have to figure out what the language means so you can read the shit.
No, that ain't happening.
You know all the all the symbols, like the Tetris symbols and like the U symbol and all that stuff. It's all you actually have to decipher how to read all that stuff.
Okay, because I remember when Fez was coming out and whatnot, and everyone was talking about like the part in Fez when you realize that there's like a whole nother game to it. And like I've put like a couple hours into it. I'm like, when's this part gonna come? But like that, I could see exactly where you're coming. Like, I could see what everyone meant by that, and unfortunately I don't know if I'll ever actually like dive that deep into it. But that's neat. That's cool. But
it's cool, and I do like when games get really, really into that kind of stuff. Like Secret World is probably one of my favorite MMOs of all time because of stuff like that. But yeah, it's very tedious. Because you have to go and find it doesn't teach you anywhere. Literally, it's like in the first town and one of the rooms you run in, like there's like a bunch of pictures of the stuff on the wall and stuff like that. You use those to kind of figure out as a cipher, and then there's a bunch of other rooms around the world that you have to go and find, and then you gotta build the cipher and piece it all together and stuff. It's you're not gonna do it. You're gonna Google it.
If I even get to that. So, Tyler, are you still with us? Because like, there's something weird. No, I can barely hear you.
You can barely hear me.
Okay, now I can hear you better.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah,
some more.
your avatar is like frozen down there.
Yeah, I see 2 Kyle Penrods down there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, my video card,
Took a dump.
yeah, crashed, and I had to restart the computer.
Oh.
But I can be heard though. I'm good?
Yeah, yeah, you're good now. Yeah.
Yeah, we can see you too
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back.
You can't kick that ghost out.
Not on our end, but I'm watching the live stream right now, and that's not even a part of it. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
We'll just act like that's ghost you. So.
Yeah.
So,
what I was gonna say right before my shit took a dump here, I know you guys were talking about Fez, but
yeah.
What do you guys know anything at all about like the Magic the Gathering games?
I know nothing, but I know Kenny
like
probably
the
knows
video
everything.
game, not the card game.
Oh.
I obviously know about the card game.
I know that the video game, my buddies played it. I played it a little bit, and the computer is like a massive troll. They will run the clock out every time, so it takes forever for the turns to run through a lot of times. But other than that, it's basically just like the card game, just playing on the computer.
Okay. I mean, would it be worth purchasing? The thing's like $10, and I've been kind of really wanting to get back into Magic, you know. Because I miss that game terribly.
A lot of my friends that play Magic do really like that game. I didn't play it because I'm not a big Magic player. I was the guy. I don't buy Magic cards. I'll show up at your house if you want to play Magic. I'll take some of your cards that you're not using and throw some bullshit deck together to play with you, or just use one of yours. But from what I remember, whenever I did play it over at my buddy's house, it's like the computer will let the clock run out and do all of its moves at like the last second. So it takes forever for a computer to get through it sometimes. But for the most part, it's still fun. It's Magic. It's just I can't stand when something takes forever to act, especially if it's the computer.
Right.
Another player, I can understand if stuff's going on or whatnot, but you already know
the computer can calculate infinite moves, you know. So
yeah. There's no reason for you to sit there and like thumb through your cards. And like, well, do I want to play this? No. Oh, I got 1 second left. Okay, I'll do it all now.
Right.
So
just buy it.
Oh, okay.
Buy everything.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy it because, like I said, I miss that game terribly.
Terribly.
Yeah. The other thing that I remember about it is you don't really get your own decks. Like you don't. I think later on you can make decks out of loose cards, but at first you just get like pre-made decks, and then you unlock more pre-made decks.
Oh, yeah, it's like Hearthstone.
Yeah, it's actually very similar to how Hearthstone was running their stuff, just Magic. But
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna cut you guys off here because I don't know what's going on here.
The fuck?
Yeah, it's okay. We understand.
No. Actually, I'm looking at the show notes and I just remembered that Kyle P has a special announcement and I want to hear it. And are you leaving me? You're not leaving me. Don't do it on air. I'll cry. I'll really cry.
Okay, you ready?
All right, I'm ready.
You get down on a knee for this, do you?
Are you having a baby?
Yeah. The special announcement is that there's going to be a new release, a new expansion to a game called World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And me and a buddy of mine have re-upped to WoW.
No!
Wow. Well, we lost Penrod.
So the MMO guy's back for a little while. We'll see. We don't know. We don't know yet, man. I still don't know. I mean, we're in like a trial phase here, you know. Like we're gonna, play the game for a bit, and it's gonna come out in December. And at that point, we're gonna figure out if.
So wait, is this the What's the name of this expansion? Nothing.
Heroes of Draenor, I think.
Okay, so this is the same one that we had heard about a while ago, but essentially you were.
Oh yeah, they announced these. They announced it like a year and a half ago.
Oh yeah. No,
So
essentially like because I remember you just saying like you were like after Mists of Pandaria you were fucking done with WoW, but like now
Warlords of Draenor. So.
Warlords, yeah, there you go.
It's like an ex-girlfriend that keeps coming back.
But I still love her.
I'm done with that bitch.
No.
But I miss her. No.
Yeah, but I ain't passing up free pussy. I mean.
Yeah, it's not free. You gotta pay for it.
Yeah, well, you know, you're paying for it one way or another. Anyway,
At this point in time, I actually want to go and find the dude that hacked my account for a while and thank him. Actually,
you saved my life.
I lost your cam, Kyle.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Or other Kyle? Oh, me? I'm right here.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that. We'll have to watch the stream and see if that's actually coming to the stream or if it's just a hangout. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyone who's watching the stream, if the video is weird, I apologize. Send me a message. I'll be happy to not be able to do anything, but know about it at least. That's good enough. I'm powerless to Google's clutches. So, all right, well.
Yeah, World of Warcraft. Oh, yeah, you were asking me about Mists of Pandaria. Yeah, I'm hoping that... Okay, World of Warcraft has released the original game, and it was good.
God, here we go.
And then they released the expansion to it, okay, called Burning Crusade, and it was great. And then Wrath of the Lich King, their biggest release, and it was bad. Then Cataclysm, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed Cataclysm. A lot of people would argue with me on that, but I enjoyed Cataclysm a lot. And it was also like Cataclysm was also the first time after playing the game for like 4 years that I actually got into a solid raid guild and was able to actually go on the raids and stay ahead of the curve for once. You know, it was quite nice. And then they released.
Why I got out of that game.
What?
Raiding is one of the reasons I quit playing in a while. But
but think about it from a perspective of something that you've never been able to do.
Well, it's because I was persecuted. I was the underdog. I only played a Frost Mage. I refused to play anything other than a Frost Mage, and that was back when if you didn't play Arcane or Fire Arcane Hybrid, then you were shit and get the hell out of my group. Which would be funny because I would have rogues call me out and get me kicked out of the group while I was ahead of them in DPS in the raid as a Frost Mage.
Well, right, but that's always a little up in the air with like DPS meters. You show yourself because your computer knows everything that you're doing, but not everything that everybody else is doing. So it's kind of you gotta get like 2 or 3 people to tell you what your DPS is. At any rate, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen a lot, and that did happen to me. A few times because
it happened to me. It can happen to you.
Yeah, because people are assholes. You know.
Yeah, they are.
And especially in video games because they don't have to deal with you. They shut you off, ignore you. You're done. You'll never be able to talk to that person again. So anyway,
my ignore list was full.
Oh yeah, everybody that annoyed me. I was like, ignore, fuck you, I'm out. But anyway, so then they released fucking Mists of Pandaria, and it was shit. So I'm hoping next expansion is gonna be good.
We'll see.
I got to keep up on it. You know, it's something.
It's a part of my life.
I enjoy the game. I enjoyed the game. That game, it's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I'll keep up on it. If I don't like the expansion, then fuck. All right, I don't like the expansion. You know, I spent money in worse ways.
I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions on it. When did you say it was coming out? December?
Oh yeah, it's end of year.
Yeah. So I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions on it, and hopefully you can rekindle this wonderful relationship you've had.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be like it was.
It can never be like it was.
Yeah,
Things
it'll
have
be like
changed.
well, it'll be like a hobby kind of thing, you know. I don't really plan on doing, full. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing
Just
at
the
there,
fact that
Kenny?
just the fact that you called WoW like it can be a hobby kind of thing because a game because a game is never like a hobby
No, I'm keeping
like
it.
it's like
It's
no like
keeping it
well
there.
what I mean is like a game should ever be anything other than a hobby, other than something on the side.
Dude, have you played WoW? That shit becomes work, son.
I played WoW for 6 months, and the only reason I even started playing WoW is because I went over to my buddy's house one day, and it was a few days before my birthday, and they just handed me a bag. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like, that's WoW and all of its expansions and a 3-month card. You're playing WoW with us. I was like, fine, I'll play your damn game.
I'll play your stupid game. I'm not gonna enjoy it. Joke's on you. I kind of enjoy it.
It was fun and it is work, but it still did hold my attention longer than a lot of other MMOs possibly can. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, WoW is turning 10 this year.
Mhm.
Did you guys know that?
Everything's turning fucking 10 this year, dude.
You know what else is turning 10 this year?
What?
Doom 3. You know what I've been playing a lot of?
Oh boy.
Doom 3.
You and Doom.
I don't know.
So funny.
I don't even remember what brought me to this. Like, oh, it was Rise of the Triad. That's what it was. I started playing Rise of the Triad, and then I was like, hey, I have Doom. Let's play Doom. And I realized Doom's kind of a better game.
Kind of.
So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Doom 3 these last couple of weeks, as you can very well tell. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on just about. I've been playing a lot of Doom. Period. I've talked about it on just about every episode of this podcast thus far. But yeah, this month actually remarks. This month marks the 10th anniversary of Doom 3. So I figured maybe we could just take a moment and discuss our memories on this. I guess the swan song of the original id Software. Like the last really great game that they made.
Great.
Come on, man. Think about it. Like, so, Kyle, where were you when Doom 3 came out?
You know what? I don't even know. I didn't get Doom 3 right off the bat.
I didn't play Doom 3 until like 6 years after it came out.
Really?
And I didn't beat it until a couple years ago when we were playing it, Kyle.
Right.
I beat it then. Dude, mostly because that game was fucking scary. Like, I'm sorry, like I play games. I don't play games with the lights on, man. That game, and I've always had like big monitors and shit, because that's the type of geek that I am, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking, I'm trying to play this game on a big monitor in a room that's dark by myself. This shit's fucking scary.
I agree with you, Penrod. I'm a wimp when it comes to.
Yeah, dude. When it's right in your face, man, you're like, ah, fuck.
Ambiance is what gets me in any game. Like I played I can't remember the name of the game now. It's nothing but like a visual novel. It's like you're walking around this island. It's stormy, and it just has like some old. Yeah, but it just has like some old English guy like narrating in the background as you're exploring this island, and he just comes in and starts talking every once in a while. But there's nothing to the game. It's literally you just walk around and he tells you the story.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing can happen in the game. Nothing can jump out at you. Nothing can attack you. But I still get scared while I play it because of the ambiance. It just
it's got a creepy vibe
so much. Yeah.
Fair enough. But I mean,
people said that about that Gone Home game too.
I said that about that Gone Home game. That game kind of made you freak out for a little bit there, and then you get to the end, you realize, oh, there was nothing scary going on at all.
Yeah. All the way up to the end, you're just constantly thinking something's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna throw some kind of cheap scare in here. I know it.
I think it was way better that they didn't, though. I think it was way better that they didn't, though.
Well, they did throw in one cheap scare, but it's the light bulb and the hidden pathway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
they threw in one cheap scare, but
But
you want to talk about cheap scares? Play Doom 3. That's nothing but cheap scares, man. You run around a corner, you're like, wow, fucking shit, man! I just looked over there, dude. When I did that, I looked at the camera and it switched to Kenny, and it scared the shit out of me. Because he looks like one of them floating skulls, dude, with that dark background and then white face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Penrod.
Yeah, well, at least you're not on fire, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Kenny's not on fire.
Yeah.
No. So I finally got to about halfway through the game, and the difficulty really starts to ramp up. I'm talking like I am constantly getting bombarded by enemies, and I've finally encountered the skeletons that have rocket launchers on their shoulders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys remember those enemies?
Yeah.
They suck. They especially.
Yeah, it just gets worse from there, bro. Wait till you get the damn cyber demon.
Oh god, I don't.
You can't even kill that thing.
Oh man, it's like it is legit. Like and like here's where it kind of like really starts to show its age. Like so. It's built on, id Tech 4, and it was like supposed to be the showpiece for this engine. And it's a really great engine, but you'll notice that there's never really more than like 2 enemies on screen at a time. So even though you're in like later levels and you're just getting bombarded by all these enemies, like it's just kind of like you'll only have 2 on you at a time. Once you kill one, then another one will come in. Specifically, I walked into a new room and went down a small like little hallway that was like a dead end to like pick up some health and whatnot. I turned around and I've got an imp coming at me, and I kill him, and then another imp comes at me, I kill him, another one comes at me, I kill him, and I shit you not, this happened 3 more times after that. And I was just like, what is this? Like,
I don't think I noticed that.
Yeah, if you play through it, the game can't handle more than 2 enemies. It might be 3 enemies, or like 2 enemies and like a small enemy or something like that. But there's a specific reason why, because if you play like the original Doom, like you'll run into rooms where there's like fucking 15 enemies.
Mm-hmm.
They're all throwing shit at you, and you gotta run and you gotta move and you gotta kill them all. In Doom 2, like it only, like you feel like you're getting attacked from all angles and whatnot, but in reality, like it's just like as soon as you kill that one, then they send in another one, and so on and so forth.
Well, Doom 3 is also a lot more compact than the old Dooms, if I remember right, because you're in a lot of close quarter.
I will say
tunnels
that
and corridors.
Yeah.
And even when there's a big open room, it's not really a big open room.
Yeah,
It's more like a small space with a bunch of trash laying all over the place. It kind of cuts you off from going different areas.
Yeah.
Until you get to Hell.
Oh yeah.
Hell's got some pretty big open areas, especially for boss fights. It needs it though, because that boss will one-shot you.
Yeah.
So.
Or maybe you're just that good at the game, Kyle. Maybe you're killing them before they can spawn in again.
Hey, I got to tell you, I'm pretty good here, but you would actually be surprised how many tight corridors there are in like Doom 1 and Doom 2. But I will say that Doom 3 probably has some more like cluttered, tighter corridors.
Yeah. Well, Doom and Doom 2 did have corridors, but they had a lot of big open, like, octagonal rooms and stuff like that, too.
Yeah, and they definitely had more, like, I guess, like, outside parts of the levels, and stuff like that. But, I mean,
With a ceiling
that or
drops
they made
down
the
and there's
enemies
guys
too
up
big.
there.
yeah, but, I mean, a lot of that was, like, John Romero, like, that dude's a fucking a nutcase. So, he was the one who was designing all of those levels. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going somewhere with this. Thanks, Kenny.
Hey, no problem.
Shit. You piece of shit.
You're going
Or they made
somewhere
the
about...
enemies too big, though. Like, because I remember, like, okay, in original Doom,
Mhm.
you could strafe side to side in a hallway,
Mhm.
avoid things. Like, you could strafe around an enemy and avoid him. In Doom 3, you can't do that. I specifically remember those four-legged things. You meet one early on. It cuts to a cinematic where it like busts through a door.
Mhm. Oh,
While you're watching.
the pinkies essentially, like they were the pinky demons in the original Doom. That's just like they're like giant fucking bulldog looking animals. Yeah.
I remember trying to get out of the way of one of those things while I was in a hallway, and I strafed to the to the side, and he hit me.
Yeah.
And it's like you couldn't get away from the fuckers. Oh, and don't even get me started on that flashlight.
That was the other. That was what I was going to bring up.
The worst flashlight, dude.
So I've been playing the BFG edition, which was the edition I think came out like 2 years ago. It's essentially like the HD remake of Doom 3. It came with like the expansion pack plus like 8 new levels that were never released. On top of Doom 1 and Doom 2, like the complete versions of those. And one of the things that they added with the BFG edition was the ability to have the flashlight on while you're holding your gun, as opposed to having, like, because in the original Doom 3, like, if you had your flashlight on, you had to switch from your flashlight to the gun. And that could be, I think that made the game a little more tense, in that, like, you're walking into a room that you can't see anything, so you got to pull it out, but you got to be ready to switch right back to the weapon that you need. But I will say that the BFG edition kind of like negates that and makes it a little more just fast paced, a little more faster pace. It's like I'm just running around the rooms killing everything that comes at me, instead of having to go shit, F key, oh shit.
See, I can't stand when they do. They have like a flashlight in the game, but then in reality, most of the weapons that you would have flashlight attachments.
Well, here's why, and the reason why they put it back in on the BFG edition was it was one of the developers. I want to say his name was Tim Willits. He was the producer or something, and of Doom 3, and the reason why they didn't have the flashlight strapped to the gun in the original game was the tech, id Tech 4 couldn't handle it at the time, and most PCs couldn't handle it at the time. Having both the flashlight going and your gunfire going, and like all the reflectiveness of the lights, off the walls and everything like that, it would cause the game to drop really low in performance.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of modders got a hold of it and ended up making something called the duct tape mod for the original Doom 3, which you could do that. So, but yeah, that was one of the reasons why you had to switch over to F, or you had to press the flashlight key to bring up the flashlight. Sort of similar to how you could only have 2 demons on the screen at any time.
Yeah. That was the worst, though, man. I tell you that thing, though. I remember doing that, and you'd open up the door, and the room would be completely dark, and you'd always just stand there for a second and wait for whatever to attack you that was going to attack you, But then you're like, okay, there's nothing in there. Switch to your flashlight, and you're like, it just gave it'd be like trying to trying to equate that to real life. You're gonna walk into a room holding nothing in front of you but a flashlight.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and like, yeah, you have a gun, but it's down here, not aimed where it needs to be. You know,
Right.
so yeah.
Yeah, definitely a weird design choice, but I guess I get where they were coming from. And I mean, you know, I think it kind of built a little bit of tension, you know? Kind of similar to how the original Resident
Yeah,
Evil...
it definitely made you more scared. I didn't use it because of the fact that it made me more scared.
Yeah.
You know?
So
Every time I switched to that damn thing, my freaking paranoia went crazy. So I was like, fuck this.
I will say the one thing that the Doom 3 kind of got wrong from the original Dooms, and maybe this was a particular design choice, but so the first, like, you get the shotgun, you know, pretty early in the game. It's essentially the second weapon that you get. You get, you know, the pistol, and then you get your shotgun. That's your next weapon. And it has that shotgun feel and that shotgun sound from the original Doom, but it doesn't do nearly the amount of damage that original shotgun did. And I like playing through Doom 1 and Doom 2, like I will do a complete shotgun run of those games, because that gun is like not the most powerful, but it is, you know, like it is a powerful gun. And in Doom 3, I shit you not, like I can't tell you how many times like the shotgun has failed me miserably. And what makes it worse is in the original ones, like you didn't have to go through the reload animation. In this one, you know, you only get six shots, and then you got to fucking reload it, you know. And I mean, you can burn up 6 shots on an enemy real quick because it doesn't do as much damage.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, as far as like the older games go, the shotgun was like everybody's favorite thing, so they always did make it a little more OP than it really should have been.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of situations too, but yeah, the shotgun in Doom 3 was pretty lackluster. I almost never used it, actually.
Yeah.
If I did use it, it was for some of the basic mobs as I came around corners and stuff like that. Just pop them in the head with it real fast and put them down.
Yeah, I honestly I only used what?
Plasma rifle, son.
Yeah, dude, that plasma rifle in Doom 3 is badass. That and the chain gun and the fucking chainsaw, dude. The chainsaw, like, okay, so this is where Doom 3 gets it right, because the chainsaw in Doom 1 and 2, like, although a relatively useful weapon, because you have to get so close to enemies, like, you will get hit a lot and will die a lot using it. But Doom 3, like, there's like a certain like hitbox that is so easy to detect that you can fucking mow motherfuckers down with that chainsaw like easily. It's like one of the best feelings.
Yeah. Well, in Doom 3 they had responses from getting hit and stuff like that too, though, didn't they?
What do you mean responses? Like, oh, like if you shot them in the arm, they would, you know, flip.
Yeah, like if you hit them, they kind of got stunned. I mean, they kind of did that in Doom and stuff. You'd shoot them, and they
would kind of do like one of these. They would be, yeah.
Yeah, but whenever you used the chainsaw, they didn't do that in the first Doom, really.
Mm-hmm.
You'd walk up and they just smack you while you're cutting them down, then they die, and then you'd move on to the next guy that's shooting you while you're cutting down the other one.
Yeah.
So. If your one thing is true, where only 2 can be on the screen at once, though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like,
it.
yeah, that's probably what it is. The fact that like only 2 to 3 enemies can be on the screen at any time. It's a lot easier to do crowd control with a fucking chainsaw than 15 on the screen at a time.
Then I'm gonna cut you down while these 3 guys are shooting me, and those guys are lobbing orbs of fire at me, and that dude's like slamming me with a club and.
Right. So, but yeah, I'm hoping to finish Doom 3 soon. I'm about halfway through. It's a fun game. For a while there, I was playing it and I was like, this doesn't hold up too well. But like, I'm finally kind of like hitting my stride with it, and having a lot of fun. I
figure as much as you like Dead Space, you would like Doom 3.
Well, let's not get crazy here. Like, I enjoyed Dead Space. I didn't like.
I was gonna say, man.
I mean, I played Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2. I think Dead Space 2 was a really, really good game, but I mean, let's not get crazy here. But I mean, and
You're out of line, sir.
Yeah, you were out of line. I played Doom 3 back when it came out on the Xbox and the original Xbox, and I got damn near to the end. Like I made it to hell and back because you end up coming back from hell, I believe. But I think 2014 is a good enough time of any to actually finish Doom. So we'll see.
On that 10-year anniversary.
Yeah. What was I don't know. What are your full thoughts on Doom 3, Kyle? Cal?
What? I'm sorry, I fell asleep. My thoughts on Doom 3. It was okay. When I was pretty deflated with it. It goes on for a long time. It's a pretty long game. As far as first-person shooters go, usually I remember being able to buy a first-person shooter and blast through that sucker in like a day and a half. I don't think you'd be doing that with Doom. I mean, I guess you could, but I don't know. I didn't. And then the Cyber Demon. You're gonna cheat to beat him. There's just all there is to it.
I don't remember.
Look up the strategy on how to beat that fucking Cyber Demon, dude.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
I'll look it up. I will look it up.
Yeah.
I don't remember cheating to beat him when I beat him, but that was still back when I was pretty Asian with my gameplay, I suppose. So that was still back when I refused to look anything up. Period. I would just hammer through it until I finally beat it.
Well, but that's the thing, though. I mean, it doesn't explicitly tell you what you need to do.
Yeah, but that's back when I would trial and error. That's how I did all my games.
Yeah.
If it didn't tell me, I would eventually figure it out, but I would just hammer through it until I figured it out.
So a Cyber Demon the size of the Empire State Building pounding your face in would be no problem, huh?
I got
killed me like 30 times, dude, and then I was like, fuck this shit, and typed it down in.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, since we've been bringing up how long Doom 3 is, I think I looked it up, and it's about 14 to 17 hours, depending on how much you're looking for in there, with the PDAs and everything like that. And I don't know about you, but like nowadays, for an FPS that is just a strict corridor shooter, that's a long fucking time to play a Doom game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings me to the topic that I wanted to discuss this week, because it's been a bit of a slow news week, so I figured we would just talk about this instead. How long is too long for you guys for a game, whether it be FPS, whether it be RPG, what have you? Like, and I'm sure that it probably varies, per game and whatnot. But do you guys have like any examples of a game that was too short that you wanted to keep playing, or a game that was just like, oh my god, will it ever end? Anything like that?
The last game I played that I remember thinking this is way too short was Evoland.
Oh yes, Evoland.
That was way too short for what it was. They had the building blocks to be so much more than it really was. It was still a lot of fun, but it was only $5, but still.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, Evoland was a game that came out on Steam probably about a year ago. That was kind of a throwback to old school RPGs, but it would as you would unlock things, it would essentially change the way the game was played and kind of move through the generations of RPGs. So when you start the game out, it's like an NES RPG, but you keep getting more upgrades, and it turns into a Super Nintendo RPG, a PlayStation 1 RPG. I think eventually it became like a Diablo RPG, and so forth. But yeah, the game was only probably about 2.5 to 3 hours long.
Yeah, it wasn't very long at all, and It was a really small world.
Yeah,
And
I think
it was really linear too, but
for the concept that it had, I think it probably could have went on for at least 5 to more hours for the type of concept that it was trying to fulfill with its
yeah.
gameplay.
It could have been a lot more than it was. They could have made the sections last a little bit longer, because some of the sections were just like, here's a short dungeon, like the 64 section. It's like, here's a short dungeon. It wasn't that short of a dungeon, but it was like one floor. It was like a one floor dungeon of like Zelda, and that was it. And then once you beat it, and then it went into I think that's when it went into like the wannabe. It took on the Final Fantasy turn-based fighting after that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and when it went to the turn-based fighting, specifically like the PS1 era turn-based fighting, it like literally every 5 steps that you took, it was a random encounter. That was kind of annoying.
Yeah. So I went to the nostalgia, but it kind of stuck after that. Like, it went through all the stuff really fast, and then you had the end game, which the end game was basically just a few jokes, and like, here's a couple secret areas that you can figure out, and then the boss.
Yeah.
It's like, there's so much more you could have done with this. You could have added in so much more stuff, but.
Kyle, was there a game that you played that you felt like was just too short?
I'm actually kind of scrolling through my list here. Most of the time I'm pretty satisfied with the games that I play and I like. However, I'm probably too short. I would say Far Cry 3.
What? Really?
Yeah, and now, okay, I say that a little bit loosely. The game for me ended when Vaz died.
Spoilers, by the way, spoilers.
Oh, come on. Fuck it.
Far Cry 4 is out already. If they
it's
haven't
not.
it's
still in pre-order.
It's on Steam. Whatever. It's out.
Yeah.
It's not out. You can pre-order. It'll come out in 2 months or so.
I mean, I played that game till the very end, but seriously though, if you play that game, you'll know what I'm talking about. The real game ends when Voss dies. It goes on after that in kind of like similar to fashion of, oh, this game's not long enough, we need to make it longer, tack this shit on.
Yeah.
That's the way that felt for me.
A lot of the other stuff in that game felt lackluster too. Like, after, like, at first, it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, the hunting of the animals to make your stuff, but then.
Yeah, and that dropped off really fast.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this is fun for like 10 minutes, and now I have everything in the game. And I haven't even done anything yet. So.
So Far Cry, I wanted to bring up Far Cry 3 for a game that I felt like went on just a little too long. And
really?
part of it being the whole Voss situation and how it kind of should have ended there. But even then, like, I was okay with it going on after killing Voss. My problem was more with how they handled the character after that happened and everything. But before that, I was playing it, and I really hate when games kind of give you a thing where it's like, go here and get this, and when you get there, it's like, oh, you got to wait for something to open, so here come a bunch of guys to come and kill you. And I felt like Far Cry 3, specifically, there was the missions like right before you get to the killing boss mission where this one dude's like having you look for a knife. Do you remember that mission?
Yeah.
You look for a knife. I don't remember.
The dude that raped your buddy.
Well, I don't think they ever specifically implied that.
Oh, they implied it.
Okay.
Wait, what?
They heavily implied it.
He had your buddy Keith, I think. And you
the Australian guy.
Yeah.
That's running around with his shirt open. He's always talking about.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He likes to play with his meat before he.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it is heavily implied of what he did to your buddy and what he planned to do to you.
Yeah. I felt like that whole storyline that was right there in the middle, I was just like, I really don't care about this. I just want to kind of get towards the end. Like that to me was where I was just like, can I just get towards the end now? Like, I don't want to play through this. And it was like really poorly written, because it was like, okay, go here and get me this knife, and then you go there and it's like, oh, the knife's not there, but hey, there's a bunch of pirates there, kill them. You know, and then you come out.
And the dude is always there as you come out.
Yeah, you come out
exactly where you're gonna come out of this forgotten ruin.
Yeah, it was just kind of it was not well written. It was not well executed. It was just kind of like we need to add a couple extra hours to the main campaign. So here you go, try that. And Saints Row 4 was like really bad about having missions where they're like, hey, I have to hack into this, so stand here and kill these waves of enemies that come by.
Well, Saints Row 4 was also like a pure comedy, like
totally. But
yeah, but compared to 3,
I didn't feel like really 3. Yeah, I didn't feel like 3 did that as much as 4 did. I feel like 4.
No, like I felt in 3, I felt like I was still playing a game, but there was humor there. In 4, I felt like, oh, well, this sells, so here's a big slapstick game that has a few funny moments in it, and you get to feel like a superhero.
No, I felt like 3 was the funnier of the two, personally. I feel like 3 was.
I think 3 was better hands down in every way, except for the scenes on the ship of seducing your guys.
Oh yeah,
Kinsey is fucking amazing. that beats a lot of the stuff out of 3 for me. But yeah, other than some of those scenes, I think 3 beats 4 hands down in every way.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
As far as games that were too short, I don't have too many that I feel like ended way too quickly. Will chimed in on Steam and mentioned Sonic Generations, and while I halfway agree that it was too short, I feel like it wasn't necessarily the fact that it was too short. I just feel like the fact that they used a lot of shit levels from shit games that nobody cared about. I feel like if they just would have, remade a lot of the levels that people did care about, that game would have been like the perfect length.
Actually, I just looked at my list. There's another game that I feel ended too well. I shouldn't say ended too quickly. I should say I wish there was more to it. And that's XCOM, Enemy Unknown. I really wish there was a lot more to that game. And I knew Penrod was going to react that way.
I'm visibly upset about that.
Dude, I love turn-based strategy games like that.
No, come on, suck it up, pussy.
Yeah, this is fucking bullshit.
Hey, you know what, Kyle? You never died in my game.
Oh, all right.
You never died. You sucked with your gun. You're a
So this game is like true to life,
Yeah. Well, it's like I made you my big enforcer guy, so you had like the rocket launcher, the big minigun, and all that stuff. You were supposed to be my guy that like barreled through the center and led the way for the snipers and everything like that. But you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with your gun for some reason, no matter what. So I just gave you like all the rocket launchers, all the grenades, and you would just blow holes open in doors, and then my snipers would kill everything. So you were my big meat shield, but you never died. You always came through in that regard. Everybody else died at some point in time, and I would have to reload, including my character, but you never died. So there you go.
Well, good for you, Kenny.
Yes.
Because my Kyle died.
Yeah.
And you left.
You could have prevented it. You could have played the level over again.
No, at the end
I would know that. I didn't leave. You died. You were one of my characters too, Kyle. You died.
I'm glad I died.
At the very end of it.
If I had the choice to do it again, I'd die again.
I reloaded that fucking game to keep you in it. I didn't leave you behind. I played that whole level over again.
I'm a piece of shit. You should know that. You should never try and keep me alive.
Next time I play that game, I'm just gonna make one guy that's just you. Then I'm not gonna give you any weapons. I'm just gonna send you out there to
Send me
die.
out there to die.
You're gonna be every rookie is gonna be Kyle McCauley.
So, what was I gonna say? I can't think of any other games that were necessarily too short. But what would you say that your preferred game length is for just like a story, story content type of game, Kyle?
Man, I don't even know. I don't pick on games for their length, because they can't help what they're born with.
That's a very interesting way to look at it. Well, what would you say? Like,
I would say, okay, like MMOs never end, and I'm an MMO player, so you're gonna be really hard pressed to find a game that I'm gonna go, man, that game was really, that game was like too long, because I don't know, they don't. All of them feel really short to me now that I've not playing MMOs full time.
Yeah.
That's why I think, and you know what? It's a perspective thing. You think Far Cry 3 took too long. I think it was too short. Far Cry 3 was the first game that I played to completion after coming out of the MMO hole.
Yeah. Well, also, I think a lot of that is perspective in that I don't have a whole lot of time to play games. We've gone over this a few times. And for me, like I was in the middle of Far Cry 3. I was feeling really good, and I was like, I want to beat Far Cry 3. But there were these, the set of missions that were standing in front of me. They're going, no, you gotta do these first, because this is how we're gonna pad out the game and say that we have 10 or more hours of gameplay. And it's like I don't want to do. I want to get to the end. Like I'm enjoying this. I'm like on a high right now, and I want to finish this. And I don't want to play these bullshit levels, to get it. Whereas you have much more time, and you're like, yeah, fuck it, I'm enjoying this, let's keep going, this is a fun time, I'm having a good time on this train, let's just keep it rolling. So I think a lot of that is perspective, and that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this, because average shooter game length nowadays is like 6 hours at most. Call of Duty's kind of destroyed that, and I'm playing through Doom 3, and I wanted to see like where I was in the story, because I feel like I'm like 2/3, 3/4 of the way through, and I get on there, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you're like not even halfway," and I'm looking at like how long to beat, and it's like about 17 hours, and I was like, I only have like fucking 4 hours in here. What is going on? Can I play this for like 10 more hours? What the fuck?
I would say, just by and large, for a game like that, I would say probably about 10 hours of gameplay would be optimal. For but I don't know, they're not, Kyle, they're not targeting you.
No, definitely.
So I mean, you're not. Yeah, you're not in their demographics. They're targeting me and Kenny.
Fair, fair. At the same time, another point I wanted to bring up was, you have games that want to be taken more seriously with their stories, and I feel like a lot of times that the story has to be kind of pushed into second place because we need to have a game that's 10 hours long. I feel like in a lot of situations, if the game cut a lot of the fat, and specifically Far Cry 3, if that game ended where you killed Voss, I feel like it would be a much more like powerful ending to it, than if it went on and you went on to like try and kill Hoyt, and opened up the other half of the island. From a gameplay perspective, that sounds great. It's like the game keeps going, I'm opening up new parts of the island, there's more things to do. From a story perspective, it's like, I just killed the main antagonist, and now you're telling me I need to go kill his boss, who I've not even fucking met yet? Like, what? Like, where's my motivation for that? As
exactly.
Yeah.
I really think the second half of that game should have been like a DLC add-on.
Yeah, something, or just non-existent. It was a weak story, and Yeah, and I tell you what though, I didn't see it coming. That guy getting stabbed in the neck.
Yeah, the spoilers again, but that was probably the biggest jaw dropper on that scene right there.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
So
I saw. I knew something bad was gonna happen to that guy.
I had a feeling something bad was going to happen too, but I mean, most of the time it's just kind of like, somebody pulls a gun and shoots the dude. Like, the fact that it was just like, like stabbed him straight in the neck, and you watch him die for a minute, it's like, oh, shit. Things got
It's pretty
serious.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Kenny, what would you say is a good amount of time for a story-based game? Like if the gameplay is great, you could play for hours on end. That's not really what I'm looking for here. Like if you're playing a story-based game, like what's the perfect ratio between gameplay and story that hour-wise that works for you?
I would actually agree with Penrod on a generalization of like just like 10 hours being a good shooter point, but that also depends on the game. Like if it's a shooter, I could see 10 hours, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But if it was like an RPG or something like that, personally, I would expect more than 10 hours of gameplay out of it. I would expect a lot of stuff to it if it was an RPG. Like because I think I always think RPGs should be that way, and I think there should be a lot of good story to it, a lot to the game itself, and a lot of stuff to do in it and whatnot. But in reality, as long as the game has a good, genuine story and doesn't just get clouded up by a lot of bullshit or a lot of side shit that really doesn't need to be there, or a lot of the side games that a lot of RPGs tend to like throwing in these days. Like I didn't mind the side games when they were just there to play, but there's been RPGs that they make the side game part of the game itself.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely hated Blitzball. Like,
I was just getting ready to bring
I hated Blitzball with a passion, but you had to go through the stuff with it. There's like an entire art to it to some degree. And then later on, whenever you wanted, I think 3 of the characters' best stuff came from playing Blitzball tournament style. Like you actually had to go through a full-on tournament and win and stuff like that in Blitzball.
God.
And I didn't even think it was possible. Like I thought you would always lose.
Yeah.
And it's just friggin' no.
Yeah. So, but as far
There's
as
a
like
way
the
to get more
actual-
gameplay, and that's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm completely fine with having that stuff off to the side if people want to do it, because I know a lot of people enjoyed that. I really enjoyed like the card game from Final Fantasy 9, or not 9, 8.
9 had it too, but 8 is where it was a big focus.
I really enjoyed the card game from 8, and you didn't have to do the card game. I think you could unlock a couple of things through the card game. But even then, I think there was just one. You could transmute one of the cards into one of the main things you needed to make one of the end game weapons. But you didn't even have to do that to get it. It was just a shortcut way you could do it if you went that route. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of games these days, they seem to be taking a lot of the side stuff that were put in there and people enjoy. They're like, oh, well, people enjoyed that. Now we need to hammer it in their face. They have to play these things. We have to come up with these extravagant side stuff that really has no focus and does not matter to the game whatsoever. I'm waiting for a game. Next thing you know, then I have like a greenhouse or something. I'll be playing Farmville on the side in the next Final Fantasy game or something. The Sims.
That's all the Sims is, man.
No, you got like a Sims version of the Final Fantasy game for the Final Fantasy game in the Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. You're playing Second Life in Second Life.
They'll have Facebook games in your Final Fantasy game on your PDA in the game that you have to play to unlock this shit.
I just want to point out that Will sent me a message that said, in all caps, "fuck Blitzball." So I guess it's universally hated.
I know some people that like. My brother loved Blitzball, and my cousin and a few other people I know too really liked it, but I couldn't stand it whatsoever. And I absolutely hated getting like the eject shot or whatever. Like you have one shot, you have one chance to do it in the entire thing, and
Oh
if you
yeah,
miss
but
it, and if you miss
was
it, then you gotta go back.
yeah. What did you? There was a way to, like, the story would progress if you missed it,
Yeah,
but there was a way to. No, you just go back to your last save. You just load up your last save, but you had to
yeah,
go through all the damn cinematics again and everything, like
yeah.
right there, or listen to everybody talk, and it was like, come on.
You had to sit through like another 10, 15 minutes just waiting to get back to try it again, just to fail. And be like, well, god damn it, reload. You know, we'll sit back and watch this again. So I never beat 10 actually.
I
Neither
did
did I.
once.
I never beat 10, and I probably never will. 10 is like the bane of my existence as far as Final Fantasy games. It's the
Oh, come on,
epitome
that
of.
was a good game.
No, it's nothing against the game. It was like whenever it came to Final Fantasy X, Murphy's Law smacked me in the face every chance it got. I played through that game 5 times, always got to the same general area, and something would always happen to my save or my game. So
I
never
overwrote
got to
my
beat it.
cousin's game by accident one time.
Mm.
With that game, I remember he was in like the Thunder Cliffs or whatever the fuck it was, the place with the lightning that you're supposed to be able to dodge.
Yeah, that you have to dodge
can't.
100 times.
Yeah, that you can't
You
dodge.
You have to dodge it 100 times in a row to
Mhm.
get I think it was one of Lulu's things.
Yeah, something.
Another one of the side bullshit things I was talking about that's just ridiculous that they threw in there.
I remember I had like a legendary sword on Titus, and like he was, and somehow I can't remember what I had to do it, but I was able to break his damage. I got I could go over the damage limit with him because I've like that game, like I kept plugging away at that game after I beat it, for a while, like gaining stuff. So actually, on the save game that I still have on my PlayStation, my Titus on that game is very strong, dude. Like he can, that cactuar thing, that cactus that you can never hit. He's fast enough, and he can do enough damage to where like he can kill that thing in like 2 hits.
Damn.
He's good. So. Anyway, speaking of too long, I think this is going on too long because Kyle's getting bored.
Sorry.
He held up a little sign that said, "I'm bored."
That's a good idea. I should do that next time. That's good.
It's because we're talking about something he didn't want to. It's all right.
No, it's not that. We are running like really long. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark here. But I couldn't find a good way into that conversation to segue it without sounding like an asshole. So I was just gonna wait until you guys decided to quit. when all else fails, leave it to you. I'll let you guys figure it out. So yeah, I think we're pretty well in agreement that like 10 hours is kind of the sweet spot for most things. If it's really good, hey, I'll take more. If it compromises story, I'll take less as long as, it's a well-rounded package. But
Yeah.
I don't know, any other thoughts on that before we move on? That's a no, it sounds like.
I said my piece.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much staying quiet, waiting for Kenny to respond, and I think he's doing the same. So I think we're not used to.
Yeah.
I'm not used to having 3 people, so when a question's asked, I'm usually just like go and start answering. So I'm trying to be polite, and like I said, I think he's doing the same. So here we are, both being quiet, being polite.
I shook my head no, so yeah.
Oh, you shook your head?
Yeah, I shook my head.
That doesn't trigger the webcam.
No, but you can see it at the bottom.
Yeah, I apologize. I've been trying to, address both of you, by your name to answer instead of having to talk over each other. But I didn't think about it there. It's late. It's getting late.
Yeah.
So that's basically our show this week. But I think I like what we did last week by picking out a game that we should play and talk about next week. I had a game chosen, but I think we may not do that game. I'm gonna leave that one up to Kyle. Kyle, what I picked the game last week. You picked the game this week.
Oh hell.
Oh hell. I guess I probably should have given you some forewarning on this.
Yeah. Probably. I don't freaking know. Dude, I don't know. Did you have anything in mind? For this?
Besides the one that I put on there. Is that what you're saying?
Okay. So it says here. Hang on. Half-Life 3. What is that? Is that out now? I suppose to
Dead 3.
I suppose to because it's the 10-year anniversary of Half-Life 2.
Yes.
Which, by the way, confirms Half-Life 3. Half-Life. Well, yeah, 10-year anniversary for Half-Life 2, right? 10-year anniversary for Doom 3. Doom 3, Half-Life 3 confirmed.
You did not just make a Half-Life 3 confirmed joke. Did you? This is not Reddit.
Did it?
Oh man. I'll tell you what. If you don't want to do Half-Life 2, do you have Darksiders, Kyle? I know you have Darksiders 2. I don't remember if you have the first Darksiders.
I got both of them.
Would you rather do those and we can save Half-Life 2 for November when it's the legit,
I don't care.
Oh,
you're fiending for Half-Life 2, so I know you. So let's
all right.
do that.
Well, I'll tell you what. We brought a guest, and let's see what Kenny thinks. Kenny, what game?
No, fuck him.
Okay.
We're playing Half-Life 2. I'm teasing.
All right, fine. I'll choose.
You know what? Just for that, Penrod, you guys are playing XCOM. That's my vote.
I've already tried. You won't.
Guess what? I won't play it.
He won't play it. He'll be like, "Oh, I was busy. I had stuff to do."
I played Risk of, I'm sorry. I played Risk of Rain for 100 hours this week.
I will go to your house when you're at work and delete everything but that game off your computer.
Okay.
All right, awesome. So I guess are we playing Half-Life 2? Then
Half-Life 2 is an awesome game.
There's
a lot to it I don't like, but
shut the fuck up, Kenny. We talked about this a couple days ago, just you and me in private. Don't you ever say what you said again. You're a monster.
He needs to die. He needs to die.
You're a monster. Kenny doesn't like the G-Man.
I don't. He needs to die.
He also hasn't played Half-Life 2 Episode 1 or 2, so he doesn't know
Neither have I.
Well, you should. Damn it! I wish you could play those. Do you think you could play those within a week? Because that's like kind of a big deal with the story.
Man.
I guess I should go play
have
those.
Them. Holy shit!
See if,
you don't have
change
them?
my.
Oh wait, I have them on my list here. Oh yeah, I do.
Okay. You should definitely check those out too. If you get the chance, in between sessions of Risk of Rain.
And don't forget World of Warcraft.
Oh yes. Well, I thought that was an. Oh, are you re-upping now to get yourself prepared?
Oh, I already re-upped this morning.
Oh my God. We've already lost him, folks. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
All it takes is one friend, man.
Right.
Hey, I was thinking about checking out WoW again. All right.
All right. Here's my credit card number.
I'm not
Let's
doing
go.
anything.
Do you even have the episode 1 and 2 on your Steam, Kyle?
No, actually, I don't have Half-Life 2 at all, but I have access to your Steam account, so I can play them.
That's right. You're gonna play it on mine. I don't have episode. Do I have episode 2?
Yeah, you bought, I think, the Valve collection because you have
Oh.
Half-Life 1, the expansions for that, Half-Life 2, and all the episodes, plus like Team Fortress Classic and all that other stupid shit that came with it.
Oh no, actually, I've never gotten like the orange pack or the Valve Complete pack or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually always just had like all of the games.
You like legit just bought these.
Well, not the Half-Life. I got a Half-Life 2 pack itself, but like most of the stuff from the orange pack, like TFC and Ricochet and a lot of those older games back with Counter-Strike, I got all of those for free whenever I first got Steam.
Oh,
for
really?
whatever reason. Yeah, nice. I just had them. I had like 10 or 12 games on here just for free whenever I was in the beta for Steam.
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah. All right.
OG Steam.
Oh yeah. Even though Steam says that I didn't join until like a year after it went live, so the bastards.
Well, you know, they're. I don't have anything for that. So. Sorry. That was a great laugh. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for breaking that tension.
Because it's some kind of status symbol that, oh, I've been on Steam for this long. Yeah, no.
All right, awesome. Well, anything else anybody wants to bring up on anything?
Mm-hmm.
That's a no, unless Kyle's typing to find something.
I don't know. No.
I'm a guest. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing.
I'm typing on Reddit. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired.
Oh, jeez. I do want to make a quick short announcement. I think so. This is episode 0.3. I think we're going to do 2 more of the 0 point series. We'll get up to 0.5, and I think after that we'll officially make this a legitimate podcast. We'll start with an episode 1. And I'll have it available in audio format and available on iTunes if you'd like to download it and listen to it, wherever you listen to podcasts at, instead of having it just open up in your browser or anything. So look forward to that. You can follow me on Twitter at Arrow Vigoroso. I'll put it in links or something. I don't know. But I've been trying to use it a little bit more for this specifically. But you can always find me on Google Plus, I guess. I don't think I've ever wanted to say that, but now I can.
Oh.
And the YouTube channel, which is where this is broadcast from, and Google Plus, obviously.
That phrase feels gross.
I know, right? I want to take a shower now. Like, you can find me at Google Plus. Fucking myself in the face.
Wow.
So
you might get more views with that.
Yeah, well, you might. I've got pretty big cleavage too. I think that would draw him in.
Mm-hmm. He does, folks. I've seen it.
Penrod do this shirtless one time.
One time, I'll do it now. What you talking about?
I'm gonna do that.
I ain't got no problem.
So, I guess that'll do it for our show. Join us next week. Hopefully on Monday. We were running a little late this week, had some issues and whatnot. But join us next week. Kenny, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. You were a joy to have, and I say that sarcastically.
Yeah, sounds true. That's good. I got nothing better to do, so hey.
Hey, I'll come here and hang out with you two faggots all night.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone for watching. Specifically, Will, I know you've been sending me messages. It's been a good time talking to you on that. Austin, if you're watching this also, thanks for watching. And we'll see you all next week.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.